everybody, it's Rachel. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and I just wanted to do a full face of e.l.f. but I sat down to do a full face of Essence, and it turns out I'm not exactly prepared for that. So I do have quite a bit of e.l.f. here, and I wanted to play with that because I did a little purchase from them, so I decided maybe I would just play with the stuff that I got from them. And yes, so I have the e.l.f. Mineral Face Primer, and I'm going to put a little bit here on the back of my hand. Kind of shot out not very beautifully. I'm going to put a little bit of that. And then I'm going to use the Poreless Putty Primer and combine those for a primer on my face. Okay, and I like the way that is looking. So what I'm going to do, I have kind of everything set out on my table, so I'm just putting everything that I've already used in a basket and setting it aside so I don't get confused with what I already have. So I kind of pulled out a bunch of stuff, and then I have the box of stuff that I purchased that I want to play with. So the foundation that I'm going to use that I actually like better than the other one is the foundation serum with goji berry. And I'm going to shake it up, as you should do with every foundation. And it's very liquidy, which is fine by me because I don't like really full coverage of anything really. And it's kind of more of a tinted moisturizer what this foundation is. And then I will go in with my concealer. This is kind of one of those foundation that's a little bit more foolproof, stuff like that. Pretty simple. It's a really, really thin formula, so if you want a full coverage, but it does have broad SPF 40, SPF 25. I don't know why I got 40. 40 what? Okay, just put a little bit more. I would say some people might find this to be like super thin for them, but like I've said in the past, I'm not a big fan of a full coverage foundation. Not so much anymore. Okay, so before I move on to anything else, I'm going to take my e.l.f. 16-hour Camo Concealer and just take a little bit of this. And here, I got some friends popping up here, so that's why I just use the concealer for the spaces that I need a little bit more extra. Put that aside here, and then just take my sponge. I use just a cosmetic wedge. I've been using this lately. So I've been using a cosmetic wedge lately, and I have been liking it better because it's more convenient. I can just pull out a new one every time I'm doing my makeup, and this concealer is really, really light. Which shade is this? Fair beige. Fair beige. Beige. It's really light and quite full coverage, so I'm not really sure what I'm gonna do, but it kind of looks like I'm putting calamine lotion all over my face. So I'm going to just kind of blend it through because we are white and we are white. Alright, well, we're playing with what we got. We're playing with what we got. So I'm going to take my e.l.f. finishing powder. This used to be one of the powders that I used all the time, and I actually hit pan in it. But okay, I think that kind of helped even things out because this is in the shade Fair Light. Yeah, that's not too bad now. Just finishing my skin. It's a really, I'm not really sure I'm liking the way my skin is looking. with that concealer. It doesn't help that it's so light too. Okay, maybe before we do the eyes, we'll just finish more of our face. Do some like bronzing, contouring, stuff like that. So I have this palette here, this brush, and I'm going to take this shade right here. Actually, I'm going to take this shade right here because it's like, it's got some shimmer to it, but it's not like a bronzer. This is more, I just want to do some contouring. Well, it's funny because that concealer is really light, but it like didn't conceal anything. I used to think people were just being critical, and now it's true. It's just, you know how sometimes you have to kind of look for something and something to like be like, okay, this really, is it good or bad? And like, I mean, I can see like some of my natural like skin, which is fine, always fine by me. But it's just kind of like, I feel like it's almost emphasizing things a bit. I don't really know what to think. But I'll be right back because I can watch you mobile. So one thing I do have is this Afterglow highlighter, and it is kind of like a bronzer-esque kind of thing. And it's more like a, I'll show it to you. Right here. And it's just, this is in the golden shade, and I'm going to take a little bit of this and just kind of put it like on a seed curve right here and see what it looks like. Playing with Full Face of e.l.f. How about that? How about we call that this? Just highlight and then here in the back. Picking it up, and I'm using the e.l.f. small stipple brush. This is actually really pretty. Let's see what it looks like. Just playing with Full Face of e.l.f. So with the really, I'm gonna rub it in my hand. So it has a bit of, it's like a glitter, but it's a really fine glitter, but it's a golden glitter, so it's almost kind of really fun and bronzery. I don't know, I think that's kind of making up for the concealer, so that's fun. Whatevs. That concealer pretty much sucks though, so just have to put it out there, people. So this is the bronzer palette that I use to do a little bit of bronzing. I wouldn't say that this is my #1, but I do keep using it because I do like it, so just kind of moving on. Okay, now I don't exactly have like a new blush from e.l.f. But I do have two things that I'm actually going to put on because we're playing with makeup. This is one of the like dollar highlighters, but it's in the color Shy, and it's kind of a pink tone. And then I have this Jelly Pop blush in Peach Pop, and I'm going to apply some of this. There's some in the cap here. It just kind of looks pretty gross. And I'm going to take my small stipple brush and stipple in here, and then I'm going to stipple here on the back of my hand. And then lightly apply this. I wouldn't say there's much color. Maybe just don't stipple it off. Oh, that doesn't look too bad. And it's not incredibly shiny either. I just don't know what to think. I feel like it's kind of disappearing. Maybe I'm just gonna stipple it instead of swirling it. It has a really good like watermelon-y smell. Okay. Well, it's really subtle. It would be really great for summertime, and so I'm gonna keep it and we'll play with it then. More then. I also have the jelly highlighter from e.l.f., but I'm not gonna use that today. But I also have that, and I also have like these 4 highlighters and this. They have a lot of highlighters. Maybe I'll do like a highlighter elf video. Oh no. Now we're making more videos than we're at. Which is fine. Okay, now I'm going to take this and put it over the top. This is the Shy highlighter, but it's more of a blush. Oh. That's actually showing up really nicely. I need to put this on its own, try it on its own. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the brush that I used to, where did I put it? I found my powder brush, and I'm just going to kind of go over everything. We kind of put a lot of stuff on our cheeks. I'm okay with that. It doesn't bother me. I like cheek products. So that is that. So those are all the things I'm putting there. But I do kind of want to do a battle of the e.l.f. highlighters. Which ones I recommend. Because e.l.f. is one of those, brands doesn't have any gray areas with cruelty-free status, so alright, so let's move on to the eyes now. The only thing that I don't have from e.l.f. is a mascara, and I will tell you, it's just because I haven't found one that I like from them, but every single thing else is from e.l.f. Right, so for our eyes, I am going to take the e.l.f. eyeshadow primer. This is like their one that they came out with, like their OG, and I really like it, so still use it and still purchase it. Okay, and while that is setting in, I'm going to go ahead and do my brows. This is the brow pencil, and mine is in the shade Natural Brown. Alright, so I am done. So back with my brows, I'm going to go ahead and show you the palettes that I'm going to use. I don't have a name for this one, but I will try to look it up. I don't think I'm going to use this one today. I'm thinking I'll probably actually, you know what? I fibbed. I'm thinking I'm going to play with both of these. This one is just one I don't know, I think maybe it was a Christmas thing. But I really like it. And then the new classics, so. But they kind of have similar tones in them. Sort of. Sort of. Sort of, kinda. Here, I'll show you guys them open. Sorta. So, I just really like this color right here. So let's go ahead and play a little bit with some eyeshadows. I am going to place this, it's called Cream from the New Classics, and I'm going to just place this on the lid, not in the crease, just on the lid, so we have a nice beautiful canvas to play with. And then from the other palette, I'm going to take this shade right here. Actually, I want to use that green, and I don't know how. I'm not sure which direction to go. Okay, we're going to play with that green. So I'm going to go ahead and take this shade right here, and I'm going to place that in the crease and blend that out to just a nice transition to see what we can get. And boy, is that shade a good one. I like this brush. It is the e.l.f. and Nabilian. I'm not sure. It's really tiny writing, so let's see what's right here. Nabilian, is that what it is? Yeah. Anyways, I got a collection, so let's go ahead and work this through, and then we'll add that green. I know that springtime is coming up, but I'm just kind of feeling the green, people. Feeling that green color. You know how you kind of open a palette and you're like, yep, that shade told me. The universe is telling me to use that shade. The universe. I really also like that one, the shade. I really, really like this shade right here. It's like a beautiful gray, and I feel like you don't see a lot of gray shadow. Maybe it's because people are like, ew, gray, but they can be actually incredibly useful. And I'm just going ahead and blending the edges with a different clean brush. It can be quite useful, gray eyeshadow, if you can find a good one. There's another gray shadow in here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this is what I call one of my most finest brushes. This is a Stila number 2 brush. They call it a concealer brush, but I don't use it for that, so I'm going to go ahead and pick up the green right here and pick that up and then kind of just place it with this brush where I want it. And boy, is that shade available. And I'm just taking that with this brush along with that in the crease. But it's a very precise tiny brush, so it's not going to take it all over the place. And I'm going to dip in a little bit more. And so I'm just dragging, because I'm placing the most of the color here, and I'm just dragging it through the crease area. Just dragging it. Now I'm going to take my brush, that same brush. You don't have to have this brush. This brush right, the first one that I used would be just fine. They're kind of similar. This one is just a tad fluffier. This one is just very sparse and tinier. I will link this brush down below because it's hard to find actually. And I'm just patting this through and putting it to be more prominent on the outer corner. But I just wanted it to like whisper it through the crease. And then I'm going to dust my brush off before I move on to the other eye and just blend. Because I'm liking the way that this is looking thus far. I'm going to dip it back into the green and then place it here on the outer corner. Other than that, I'm actually very pleased with how this is turning out, and playing with makeup is quite fun. So I'm going to take a brush. This is a brush that I got off of Wish. It's not anything special, but I really like it. So I'm going to take this shade right here in this palette. Sorry, we're using this one quite a bit, but it's turning out to be something I really am liking. So I'm just taking that and just cleaning up the brow a little bit with it, and it's kind of one of those angled brushes. I'm just taking the tip of the angle and blending that through. Alright, and I'm going to take a kind of a packing brush. This is another one that came with that set. Okay, so I'm going to take, in this palette, I'm going to take this shade Glamour, and I'm just going to place that all over the lid. And I think we should be done with the eye look. Just kind of building our brush up with some shadow. And we are going to rub the, like, kind of trying to get a good angle in the mirror for me. And surprisingly, that green shadow did not have much fallout at all for being a color shade. Surprisingly. You kind of see they ain't not very much. Okay, and I'm thinking that is going to do it for our eye look. What I'm going to do, I'm going to take that same pink brush that I used and just hold it at the very end here. And then just kind of tickle that through. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. And then I'm going to take this shade. This is actually one of my most favorite. It used to be, not so much anymore. I don't really have a favorite eyeliner, but this is the eyeliner, like a $2 eyeliner from e.l.f. It's the shade Coffee, and it's like a liquid liner, and I'm going to go ahead and put that on. Now, like I said, I don't have an e.l.f. mascara, but I do have a drugstore mascara, and that is the Flower Warrior Lash Warrior. I'm going to put this on, and then I'll be right back. Alright, so I'm gonna take this e.l.f. like glitter. I'm gonna take this e.l.f. glitter liner, and it was like something that came in like a holiday kit, but I'm gonna take this and line my lower lash line with this. Actually really it's a good liner. They're really actually super good. And I'm just gonna take a brush and just kind of lightly. Okay, and we are done with the face. I'm gonna take a combination of two things that I really like. If I can find it. So I'm gonna take this liner that came also with that kit, that Nabella Noir, and I'm gonna take this lip liner, kind of a brownish tone. So I'm gonna take the lip liner, this lipstick in, this is the Day to Night lipstick, and this is in the shade Need It Nudes. So it's the darker version. I've used this a couple times on my channel. I really like this. And I'm gonna use the darker one. And then place the lighter one. And I do have an e.l.f. setting spray, but it's not the greatest. It's a primer mist, actually. And I do it as far away as I can. And then we are good to go. Alright. Clean up a little bit here. Alright you guys, so that is going to be the end of this video. This is the playing with full face of e.l.f. and it was really fun. So if you guys did like this video, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to share it if people like e.l.f. that you know of. And please subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.